So let me just infuse at this point a full confession. I actually own a what we call a row home in San Diego. It's in downtown San Diego. I've owned it for over 20 years. It was built in 2003, and it was designed by local architect Kevin DeFreitas. And it's a tilt-up concrete project. It's built in, of all places, downtown San Diego. But it's a single-family home. It is one of 17 units on 1/3 of a downtown block, so basically 20,000 feet. And I think this unit sits on maybe 700 of those feet. And the unit is 3 stories and it's 2,000 feet. Now, I don't know how you were raised, but I was raised in a single-family home in Sonoma County. And I think that home was about 1,400 square feet, may have been 1,600 feet. And I was part of a family of 5 and a dog. And we had a big front yard, a big backyard and a front yard. So it was a traditional home. But what we're talking about with respect to my row home, for instance, is the same interior square footage. It's just missing the lots. And in most it's just missing the land in the backyard and the front yard. So in most neighborhoods, that's not a big deal because neighborhoods have parks and they have schools and so forth. So it's not a big stretch to think about this concept. It's not a heavy lift as a policy issue, is it, Ricardo?
Not at all. In fact, what I like to tell folks is just a change of imagination, right? Einstein didn't develop relativity. He saw it for what it is. This is just changing it because we're so wedded to this idea that a single family home has to be on 5,000 square feet. And most of us don't even know why it's 5,000 square feet, because it certainly has nothing to do with the capacity of the developing industry or the health and safety of the public. That's just a number. And so again, it's just the idea of changing our thinking about how we provide housing and how people can live. And I suspect, because this will happen eventually, we're going to look back and we're going to say, why were we so wedded to 5,000 square feet? What was it about 5,000 square feet? And I live in Kensington, and it's a beautiful neighborhood. But I will tell you, on a beautiful afternoon, on a Saturday or Sunday, there are some people walking, but not many. And most people have beautiful front yards, but those front yards are not providing for them. They're actually putting money into their front yards in the form of water and other maintenance. But that front yard has no value that they're capturing. And that's the problem here in California. And I also like to say to policymakers is, look, however we feel about policymakers, the business community, education, everyone has done such a great job in San Diego of really making San Diego attractive to be and to live and to find opportunity. So now it stands to reason that the land has real value, right? Because people want to be here. Now we have to make it smaller to consume because that value continues to increase. And so again, this is a natural trajectory, I think, of what we're on. But again, what stands in the way of this progress is the memories of the past, right? You had a childhood in a single family. I had a child in a single family. But what we're proposing here isn't drastic. It's that natural infill that, if anything, just like single family homes in my neighborhood, most people are going to pass this on to their own family, or they're going to subdivide, or they're going to provide opportunity for their own family before they do others. So again, it really makes sense. And then the other argument too that folks oftentimes are concerned about is, well, you're adding people to my neighborhood, but you're not creating the infrastructure in the parks. Well, we don't have the money to do that in San Diego, and it's very, very evident. But if we provide more home ownership for people, they're paying those property taxes, and those property taxes go back into those services.